Greetings. My name is I Am Quartet, and the road to 2K starts now. To help us reach our goal, subscribe. Thank you! Like, share, and comment on all videos. Play the video until the end, even if you're not watching it. This helps YouTube recommend our channel. Oh! What's up, everybody? It's your boy, I Am. Glasses off. I Am Quartet.
Turn out the greatest me.
EJ.
Welcome to another episode of the Culture Section Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fans of the Culture Network YouTube channel. Also, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. Hold up.
The incident that happened tonight, the officers responded to a fight. It was some girls fighting. A gentleman was breaking up the fight. When he was turning to go get his kid, the officer shot this man 7 times. The man never had a weapon, never brandished a weapon, never made any threat nor assuming movements towards the officer to be perceived as a threat.
Then on the evening of Sunday, August 23rd, 2020, Kenosha Police Department officers were dispatched to a residence in the 2800 block of 40th Street after a female caller reported that her boyfriend was present and was not supposed to be on the premises. During the incident, officers attempted to arrest Jacob S. Blake, age 29. Law enforcement deployed a taser to attempt to stop Mr. Blake, but the taser was not successful in stopping him. Mr. Blake walked around his vehicle, opened the driver's side door, and leaned forward. While holding on to Mr. Blake's shirt, Officer Rustin Shesky fired his service weapon 7 times. Officer Shesky fired the weapon into Mr. Blake's back. No other officer fired their weapon. The Kenosha Police Department does not have body cameras, and therefore the officers were not wearing body cameras. During the investigation following the initial incident, Mr. Blake admitted that he had a knife in his possession. And DCI agents, that's the Division of Criminal Investigation, recovered a knife from the driver's side floorboard of Mr. Blake's vehicle. A search of the vehicle located no additional weapons. Law enforcement immediately provided medical aid to Mr. Blake, and Flight for Life transported him to Frederick Hospital in Milwaukee. Mr. Blake remains at the hospital. The Division of Criminal Investigation at the Wisconsin Department of Justice is leading this investigation, and it's being assisted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Wisconsin State Patrol, and the Kenosha County Sheriff's Office.
I don't really know what to say. I don't really know how much detail to add. Everything is still, even though there's plenty of video circulating, we still have to use the word allegedly.
His kids was in the car.
His kids was in the car.
Crazy.
He was breaking up a fight.
Crazy.
They say he was breaking up a fight. Now, they say they hit him with a taser, and he kept walking. They say he reached in his car, and then it's almost like as soon as they opened up the car,
He was holding him by his shirt.
Yeah, 7 shots.
So this is my thoughts, man. When you go back to the George Floyd situation, you see how they apprehended him?
Yeah.
Why didn't they try to apprehend him then? Why literally walk with him? He wasn't running, correct?
Wasn't running.
There was no grabbing him, even throwing him on the ground.
Yeah.
Why is there a holding his shirt? And then why is there so many gunshots when you're point blank at the guy on his backside?
Thank you.
You literally that close.
The first one.
And you pull out your weapon, it's pretty much against his back. I didn't say it was on his back. I said it's pretty much against his back.
Yeah.
And you let off 7 shots. 7 direct shots to this man's body in front of his kids who's in the vehicle. You later search the vehicle, and you do find a knife. This is after you later, that's it. You shoot a man walking to his car, though. You don't try to apprehend him before he even gets there.
Don't they have pepper spray?
Yeah,
pepper spray.
They have hands.
And then
They have hands. I'm trying to figure out why didn't they just take him down to start off with. Forget why he was over there and what happened previously. I want to know, why did you shoot the man before you took him down? He's not running. Okay, let's say you did hit him with a taser. Now when we gonna jump on him? Why wait till he gets to his vehicles with his kids in there and you decide I'm gonna shoot him 7 times?
Thank you.
I'm not gonna use a bean bag. I'm gonna just take my gun and shoot him in his back 7 times.
Here's the thing, though.
And one more thing. Don't mean to interrupt.
No, of course.
And you ain't got no body camera on. What's it used to have body cameras if you ain't gonna use them, period?
What year are we in? 1975. That's what we in right now. Now, with all this, but let me back up from that. Great point. Let me say this right here. And I'm speaking specifically to everybody that has left comments under our Breonna Taylor video, the George Floyd video I made when we had a hiatus, whatever else that's containing to anything dealing with social justice for black people. If you don't get it now, you don't want to get it. If you look at let me tell you something about being aggressive. I would rather have an assault charge than like an attempted murder charge. Give me assault any day. Let me go and get this assault charge over a murder charge. So when my fellow policemen, I forgot what they called them, the ones that investigate dirty cops. I can't think of it right now. But when I think it's IA, when they do their internal affairs, when they do their IA investigation, I could justify passion of like being a little too rough with a suspect versus shooting a suspect 7 times. A knife still doesn't equal out to a gun.
A knife that he didn't have.
Come on, man.
He doesn't have it.
Well, they said, I'm just repeating what they said. The man said that that he admitted to having a knife. Now, I don't know how he's supposed to admit to this when he's obviously in surgery, probably getting them bullet taken out, if they could take the bullets out of his body.
At what point did he admit to having a knife? Afterwards or before?
This was
he breaking up a fight. I got a knife, officers in the van.
Right.
You want me to pull it out so I can break up this fight?
I don't see it.
And then you pull it. Listen, man. So you think he was you said the other one is when they pulling out the bullets out of him?
Yeah, you know, like when they doing surgery, like how is he supposed to admit
I got a knife before he go under the knife.
Exactly.
I have a knife in the van.
Right.
But it didn't go down like that, man.
Man, let me tell you something. Man. Go ahead.
Listen, when you say people who don't get it, the same people who reacted on every single one of them videos don't want to get it.
Exactly.
Only thing they get is black people acting crazy. That's just the way they see it, and they just need to be taken down.
Ignorant.
Now, what about the kid? I don't know much about they said it was a vigilante.
Oh, about the 17-year-old kid that was taking justice in his own hands?
Is it still related to this case?
When you say related, what do you mean?
Was it a result of the protest, or was he?
It was a protest. I don't know if it was a protest for this or not.
Yeah.
And then I read that his mother actually drove him out there. And then they allowed him to turn himself in. They didn't apprehend him or nothing. They allowed him to turn himself in.
See all that love and compassion?
That's what everyone was saying. Like,
you see all that Christly love and compassion?
You don't want to throw it out there, but it's the truth. If it was a black man, he wouldn't have made it.
He wouldn't have made it. He wouldn't have made it to the steps. Let me tell you something else, man.
He was white.
Yeah, it was a white. He was 17 years old, they said.
See?
He didn't have no gun permit for the weapon he was using.
Come on, man. He out there being Charles Bronson in Death Wish.
One person had a video where he shot someone. He was on the phone with someone, and then he started walking away. He was talking to someone and said, I shot him. Even though it was a white male. I want to say that. The funny thing, they always talk about black on black crime. Let's move past that. It was a white male, and they was trying to wrap his head up because he was shot in the head. And they was trying to stop the blood and everything from going. But he went away from that one. But they said he pretty much was on a rampage that night. And then they showed a post where they was posting about they was going to be posted. Pretty much, stopping y'all black folks. Or we should say protesters, because there is white protesters out there standing with us.
Let's be direct, though. Let's be direct, because we have tried several episodes to just get y'all to understand what is going on. George Floyd had this drug and that drug and this drug and this drug in his system. Stop his resisting arrest. Let me tell you something. Even if resisting arrest is a charge, most people that resist arrest, the worst that can happen is just a little tussle. between the police and the suspect, right? This right here, I'm sick of like people trying to act like what we say or we're complaining for nothing. Listen, I can't afford to go back to Africa. I can't afford it. If I go back to Africa, it's going to cost me $5,000 to buy the plane ticket, and then I'm going to have to try to live somewhere and become familiar with the community. This is where I stay at. See, a lot of y'all have that. I'm not looking at that. This is where I live. And for people that are Republicans, that are non-black people who can't recognize that not only, see, here's a narrative too. They're killing all of our black men. Well, let me add some detail to that to let you know how deep it is. The relationship between a son and his mother is one that really can't be defined. There's a song that says, there's nothing like a mother's love. So imagine this, and I'm only giving you the mother's side because I want you to understand how it affects a woman. The women that birth children, that breathe life into our existence. So when you killing us, you trying to eradicate our whole race. And I think it's very disrespectful for people to not see that. Again, you want us to be okay with slavery. You want us to move on to the next chapter. Well, if you want me to move on to the next chapter, how about you recognize that you part of the problem and it's not my fault? I'm not going to talk about the protesting. About the looting and riot. I don't care about none of that. I'm going to tell you why. Because y'all think that because we have these beliefs and values that we don't have an opinion and that I'll just pray. Nah, listen, I'm going to pray about it and I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to tell you that you out of pocket. And I'm telling you, number 45 has this little speech. He doesn't even mention Mr. Blake. He don't even mention the fact that his dad was like, he matters. They shot my son 7 times. His mother says, he would not want y'all to react this way. The sister says, I am used to this. I am numb. What part of that sounds normal to you? There was a young lady on Channel 11 News. She says that Southgate and Biltmore Hills are within miles of each other. She says that there are 3 to 4 police stations within 2 miles of each other around that general area.
Yeah, one is directly in Southgate.
Come on, man.
It's literally directly right by the food line. Sits right there on the corner.
So the point I'm making over policing, general census is that the majority, if you want to, you can say the majority of black people, low income, stay exit 300, which is that area. I know we got them down in Raleigh North and all that, but I'm just telling you, but not to even mention that Southeast District covers all that. Think about that, man. But then it's us. They always want to, listen, if you at this point, if you're a Republican, you can't even acknowledge the pain that this family is feeling. The reason why, because 45 has no compassion in his heart.
You think he's just out of touch, man?
Man,
do you really think he's just out of touch? Like, was he raised around this, or was he always raised in money?
He was raised in money. He was raised with the tycoon mentality. Eat the little guy, celebrate with the big guy.
You think that's why he don't have any empathy then?
Of course
he
not.
just always had that mentality.
Of course. This was the same man that took an ad out on the in the paper with the Central Park 5.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
See that?
I
You
remember
see what
that
I'm saying? Look at this history.
Because he was offering up money, right? He was donating money.
Offering up money. Vigilante justice, I would call it.
Hey man, since that special came out, man, I wonder, has he came public? Has he apologized or anything, man, or even talked about how
45.
How he had his hand in that? Or no?
Of course not.
Oh.
You know, I hate The thing about it, that's why they say pride is such a dangerous thing or being too proud is because you will never make something right or correct something or apologize for something. This man was literally about to unleash the National Guard on protest. This man said, I am the law and order president. I can't make this up.
You don't have to. He do it for himself, man.
This is the same guy that makes the commercial, Joe Biden's, if he wins, it's going to be total chaos. Newsflash, it's chaos right now.
He can't see that.
Guess what we're not going to do this podcast? We're not going to chastise the looting and rioting. We're going to stick to the facts. Because the point is, you trying to tell us how to feel and you telling us not to react this way. Listen, I don't advocate violence of any sort. Notice I said of any sort. That means that this Mr. Blake, who is now paralyzed from 7 shots in his back, unnecessarily.
Yeah, it was excessive, wasn't it?
Yeesh.
You
Come
already
on, man.
point blank with the guy, though.
You up on him.
I can't get past that point.
I wish
Thank
I-
you.
Oh.
It freaked me out. God. I don't even know how the person videotaping like still had the phone in their hand. I would have dropped the phone.
Man, it would have been.
Oh my God.
Y'all might have. Listen, I don't curse, but y'all might have seen something. Y'all might have heard
Right.
something that night.
Yeesh.
You know what the
They probably didn't drop the phone because it's been going on so frequent now.
Oh my
it's
God.
becoming normal.
They just doing their
terrible?
job, record it,
terrible.
turn it
It's
in.
becoming normal.
Here's the evidence.
My
And
boy.
it's still same problems. Why didn't they have their body cameras though?
Yeah, we living in the 1950s.
Going to that.
Because
Why
man,
didn't they have their body cameras though? It's like a part of your job. It's your duty. It's almost like when you get up, if you're going, brush your teeth, freshen up and stuff like that. When you're going to put on your drawers, your bra, your panties, whatever, your socks, your shoes. The body camera's a part of the uniform. Where is it at, man?
come on, man.
And then it's almost like he was shooting to kill. You know what I'm saying? You shoot him that, it's my word against his. He's pretty much down there. He's dead. The man's still alive now, and he still has kids.
Can I say something that I would normally never say?
Go right ahead, please.
I'm blaming y'all, and I'm talking about white supremacists, government who subscribe to white supremacy. I'm going to get in my conspiracy bag, but it ain't really a conspiracy bag. You talking about drug dealing? You put the drugs in the hood for us to sell. Then on top of that, you punish us for not having an adequate education. Then once we start getting the adequate education, you say now you need a master's degree. When I decided to go in business for myself, you make it hard for me to go in business for myself. Every obstacle that a minority, and I'm talking about not just black people, Asian people, I'm going with the whole, everybody. And we don't talking about white supremacists that control and the power of this country. You make it very difficult for us to breathe. And you wondering why what's happening right now is happening. If you want us to stop, I'm not out there. But if you want them people that's out there peacefully protesting, if you want them to stop, then make the change. Period. My name is I Am Quartet.
I'm Tyler, the greatest me.
DJ.
See you when we see you.